Hi everyone and welcome back. You're watching Markets at Noon on ET Now. Well, today in our Corporate Corner, we're going to be talking about a sector that's really been buzzing and how, and within the sector, NIIT Limited. We want to talk about the strategy in the post-COVID world, the demand trends in the IT space, and of course the demand outlook, especially given the fact that NIIT does have learning centers. So how essentially will they be maneuvering and rejigging their business model. Let's bring on board Sapnesh Lalla, the CEO of NIIT Limited. Sapnesh, many thanks for joining us today on ET Now. It's been quite some time since we've actually spoken to you, on the channel. So walk us through how has business changed for you? You have the lockdown, the social distancing measures that have been brought about. So what's been the impact for your business, for your learning centers?
Quite substantial. March was particularly bad for our business. Our education centers could not stay open. In fact, in addition to our education centers, none of our staff could come to offices. All our offices were shut down worldwide. But I think very quickly we took really agile and decisive action and implemented work from home, pivoted to digital, and moved our business to a model where we could continue to service our customers almost seamlessly with the same level of service levels that they have become used to, however, doing it digitally, almost 100% globally. And I think that helped us rebound quite substantially in our Q1, as you may have seen from our results. While our Q4 profits were wiped out to a great extent because of COVID, like you pointed out, our Q1, we came back in a substantial way. From a volume perspective, from our top 10 customers, the volume was down substantially. But the fact that we had done substantial business development over the last 3-4 quarters helped us keep our nose above the water. We were able to improve the profitability of the business in a more substantial way by taking a number of decisive actions. And so overall, I think COVID did impact us quite substantially in Q4. We took decisive and agile action. It enabled us to pivot to a digital education delivery model as well as a digital customer acquisition model. And that has helped us in our Q1, and that is continuing to help going forward, while the volumes from some of our largest customers continue to be low, given the COVID impact to their businesses.
Good afternoon, Sapnesh. This is Nayantara Rai, working from home. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. So you're being candid and saying how there was a big impact. You took decisive actions. But the thing is that COVID has changed the world forever too, right? Look at EdTech, what has happened. You've also seen global majors, when it comes to upskilling, whether it's a Coursera, giving a window of opportunity to the Ivy League schools, some of the best universities that you have in the world. You've seen the emergence of decacons, like let's say a Byju's, which is also getting into it, has acquired White Hat to clearly get into coding from an early age on. My point is that this space has become so competitive, from young kids all the way to working professionals. Your competitors have increased manifold. How are you going to stay relevant?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things in the business of education and training is to create outcomes that matter. And I think this is something that we have learned over the last 38 years of our existence, and we continue to be very diligent about it. Anyone who is taught by NIIT is assured of one thing, that they will achieve the outcomes that matter, not just to themselves, but as well to the employers who they're going to be working for. And I think that's really something that has helped NIIT and helped NIIT's customers. Whether we do that in our education centers, whether we do that in the classrooms at our customers' sites, or today we do it digitally, one thing that we are most proud of is when you get educated by an IIT, you are assured of outcomes. And those outcomes are outcomes that the industry is looking for. And that's really what we drive, and that's really what our competitive advantage is. And I think that's what our customers have come to expect of us over the last several years. And that's what they also find as we have pivoted to digital.
Sapnesh, what about the B2B side of the business? How badly was that impacted, and is it getting back to normalcy?
So as I pointed out, the B2B side was and is continuing to be impacted as well. As you might imagine, just as NIIT's business was impacted, our customers' business was also impacted, and not just in India, globally. We live in a deeply connected world. For example, you notice the hiring sentiment going down in India in our Q1, and that resulted into companies acquiring fewer new joinees, which resulted into less training. Globally, most of our customers, as I pointed out earlier, had reduction in volumes. Some just didn't have enough money to invest in training, and others had a problem getting students into a class, or had other things that distracted their HR organizations, like organizing for working from home and just getting their business back in place. But in all of this, I think the reason why NIIT kept its head above the water is because it took decisive action, as well as it was supported by a really significant business development that we had done over the last few quarters. We acquired 14 new managed training services customers in the previous year, and continued that customer acquisition velocity in our first quarter. And that really resulted into us being able to garner enough volume to ensure that we eked out a little bit of growth in our first quarter. So the business was impacted, not just for us, but for several of our customers as well. And their volumes are down. But NIIT has been able to do better in the current environment due to the strength of its value proposition and the sterling customer base that we have.
Okay, Sarvesh, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us and being so candid on both the big businesses of yours, whether it is learning and upskilling, or of course the B2B side of the business. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short commercial break. You're seeing our own markets on expiry day under pressure. Before we go into the break, just a quick word on the European markets, which have opened. The European markets also a sea of red at the moment as cases in the United Kingdom rise. Two German ministers test positive for COVID-19, overhang on the global economy, all of that. You've got the British FTSE currently down by almost 1% in trade, 55 points down. The French CAC, meanwhile, 43 points lower. The German DAX down by about 0.75%. You did see the Europe 600 stocks open with 1% in the negative territory. We'll be back after a short break.